Good morning. Morning. Hello, Jacksonville. Thank you. I've had warm hospitality since I flew in to visit the city. I got in on Thursday. Big city with a small town feel. That's nice. My name is Anita. I am your host facilitator for this session, Turn Your Baggage into Bank. I termed the presentation that way because that's something that I have done. I've walked through turning the baggage that I had into actual income streams. Of course, like a lot of people that have experienced success, I have done it by accident. But when I got contacted by Michelle and April about doing a presentation, it was the first thing that popped into my head. So what I'm going to do, usually we only have 30 minutes, and I don't want to leave. I don't want to make your head spin before you leave. I want to give you information that you're actually going to be able to implement and use when you leave. So I usually do keys, pass out information, and make people read. But since we just have 30 minutes, lucky you, I'm going to bypass that part. The first thing I want to do is dispel the myth or the self-doubt that you have that there's something different about you that means you can't do this, because you can. Okay? The lady on the screen right now, she went to Disney World with her husband and 3 children back in 2014. Okay? When she got to Disney World, she noticed everybody was wearing these ears. Not just the ears that you can buy at Disney, but they were all decorated, and some people had names on them. Some people had, they were psychedelic colors, and her kids, of course, being children, I want one. She went home, made them. The kids started wearing them to different practices. They wore them to school. Then the friends and the neighbors wanted them. She sold her first pair in 2015. Okay, 2016, she quit her job selling mouse ears. Guess how much she pays? Guess how much she charges for one pair of those decorated ears that you see in that box? $60. Next slide. This lady is called the Queen of Live Stream. Right now, she makes 6 figures on Facebook doing Facebook Live videos. Her name is Danielle. She lives in Texas. Okay? She quit her job at JP Chase to teach classes on Facebook Live. Okay? Now, Facebook Live, she has built a huge community. So if Mark Zuckerberg decides tomorrow that he's going to shut down Facebook, she still has all of their email addresses. She still has a web page that they know where to find her. And they look at her as, like I said, the Queen of Live Stream. Danielle, this is her here. Okay? Her base course is $99 a week. A week? Oh, $240. And this is, I pulled this from her website last week when I prepared for this presentation. So if you want to fact check me, fact check. Within 147 and 247. Okay? All of these people are students. Do the math. And there is nothing different about her. She is your average bubbly personality. When you go to her Facebook page and look at her on Facebook Live, you will be able to relate. Anybody ever heard of Darius Cooks? Okay, is his food good? Darius started cooking for his classmates in college. Okay, and now to get Darius to come to, because he goes to various cities now to cook dinners. His dinners are anywhere from $150 to $185 a plate. Okay, and do not picture any type of 5-star event, okay? This is Party City tablecloths and plastic plates because people are coming to eat the food, period. Now, he has a lot of personality, but they're coming to eat these wonderful cupcakes and these spinach crab cakes. He doesn't just cook, he creates. So if you can cook, if you can talk to somebody, if you can create, you have a craft, whatever it is, you can turn that into bank. The 3 ways that I'm going to discuss with you are writing a book, starting a podcast, and then like the examples that I just gave you, you can a la carte your genius. You can pimp your genius is what I wanted to say. You can, you can a la carte your genius. The first way, let's go through writing a book. Hit me again. Okay. People think that writing a book is an audacious process. It is not. It is very simple for you to write a book. It's just breaking it down into small steps that fit your life and your personality. People will tell you, no, you have to put the manuscript together first, and then, no, break it down even further. Because what you can do is create a blog. Come on in, have a seat. What you can do is break it down into small bits by posting blog posts. So the first thing you might want to do is pick a topic, because everything you write in some way is going to have to relate to this topic. So whether it's an awareness topic, domestic violence, could be love, could be marriage, could be child abuse, could be divorce. Anything that you have gone through in life, somebody else is going to go through it behind you. So if you put your lessons into a book for them to read, you're giving them a head start. The next thing you're going to do, hit me again. The next thing you're going to do is when you publish all of these blog posts and you relate them all in some way to that one topic, whatever specific topic you pick to wrap that around, say you're talking about child abuse, and you pick out 10 stories from your past. They could be chronological from age 1 to 20. If you're talking about marriage, it could be from the day you met up into the day you got divorced. You could break all of that down into 10 different stories. If there are lessons that you want to share, you could actually break down those lessons into how to move to Jacksonville. First thing you want to do is look at the job market. Second thing you want to do is see, what are you looking for in a living environment? Do you want to be in a mixed community where you walk to everything? Do you want to be in a single family home? You break it down into steps to make it easier for you to write about. The next thing you're going to do when you've written, because somewhere around 25,000 words edits down into about 100 pages. And right now, that is the reading level that the masters in the business are telling us. If you do over 100 pages, they probably won't read past that. If you do over 150, they probably will not buy it. And you're writing a book because you want it sold. You want to make money. You want to make money. The next thing you're going to do is, for each one of those stories, because what you're going to do now is formulate your table of contents, right? So for each one of those, when you put those 10 or those 15 stories together, you're going to write an intro paragraph that tells them what you're going to tell them. And then you'll write a closing paragraph that talks about what you just said and what you're going to say. Okay?
Anita, quick question. Did
Sure.
you say 100 pages for the book?
Yes.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So if your blog posts are between 1,000 to 2,000 words,
Yep.
right? And then you take each blog post and put it together,
It's about 100 pages.
there you go.
Thank you.
Next slide. Okay, this book, this is the book that I use this very formula to put together. This is an example of what it is that I'm talking to you about right now, and where I took stories from my childhood, trauma stories. My father tried to burn the house down 3 times. We were in a restaurant, and my brother told my mom if I couldn't order, then I couldn't eat. Things of that nature. And I related it all to the fact that I'm telling you, family is not everything. How am I telling you that? Because the market pushes people into a corner. If you're abused, you keep your mouth shut, you try and move on with life. And that's not the way that you're going to heal. So instead of pushing people back into the corner, I need people to speak out and be healthy about how they interact with others and what they say. In this book, I took a 7-step method. I wrapped my personal stories around those 7-step method. Look at my coach coming in here to check on me. Y'all, this is Michelle Talbert. And who would like a free copy of this book? What's up, girlie? Don't worry, I got another one. So pay attention. Next slide. Oh, no, back one, please. I'm sorry. Selling a book starts before you start to write it. There are things that you need to put into the book as far as download resources, something to keep the reader interested. Because to sell the book, you have to sell the factor WIIFM. You know what that means?
Yes.
What?
What's in it for me?
What's in it for me? So if you look in the front of that book that I just gave you, it'll talk about 6 free resources that are worksheets that people can download that will help them work through the 7-step method that I have inside. Another thing is a launch team, right? This book, I launched with 18 5-star reviews. And I did that without friends or family, because I wore my friends out with the first book. I couldn't go back to the well again and ask them to do it again. Okay, now the next one. This was the first book that actually hit the bestseller for me. This is 7 Steps to Beat Emotional Baggage. So if you look at me, type me in on Amazon, both books should come up. Next slide. The book organized, write the preface, the conclusion. Next one. It's very important that you look at the elements, okay, that are going to sell your book. What makes people attracted to buying your book? You have to have a great cover. You know, you can look at some books and say, And then other books you look at and you're saying, this was a 5-star publisher, right? You can make your book with a few resources, like feedback from your family and friends, and Fiverr, a good freelance resource, look like a 5-star book. I did not draw this. Please understand. I did not draw. This was drawn for me. And she only charged me $100 to do it. Okay? Interior formatting. Who knew there was a science to whether or not the pages in the book are white or cream? I had no clue. But it matters, and it tells a reader, somebody that really loves to go in on a book, it tells them whether or not it's fiction, nonfiction. Open and read was all I thought. Then to publish, market, and sell your book. Because writing it is the easy part. The very, very easy part. Next slide. In marketing your book, what you will then do is leverage. That's your word. Any move you make, you want to make sure that you are leveraging. Leverage your book into speaking opportunities. That's what I did with this one. In posting and marketing the book, getting the word out, telling my tribe, my coaches and my colleagues that, hey, my book is published now, I'm looking for speaking engagements, and bam, I'm standing here in front of you from DC in Jacksonville talking to you about how I turn baggage into bank. So when you position yourself with it, you can start out speaking anywhere, because the people that sit up top, they have to go to the library. There are places that they have to go to the library, they have to go to the store, they have to go to, they're online on Facebook. How many times have you seen Tyler Perry pick an Instagram influencer and put them in a movie? His last movie, the Halloween movie that y'all went to see, that I didn't go see because I'm scared. 6 people in that movie were straight from YouTube. So they're out there looking for you, but you got to put yourself out there to be seen. Next slide. Next thing, create your podcast. Is another way that you can turn your baggage into bank. If you do not want to be on video, and I don't know why we're all ugly. We are. When we look at ourselves on television, none of us like what we see, right? So, creating a podcast where it's just audio. Next slide. One of the things that I do with my television show that I host in DC is I have the video, I put that on my YouTube channel, then I just rip the audio from it to create a podcast. In that way, I'm covering people however they like to consume their content. Whether they like to consume it just audio in the car, working out, or if they actually have 30 minutes to sit still and watch a YouTube video. To create that podcast, you're going to follow about the same route to getting there, and where you will pick your topic, your large topic, whether it's an awareness topic, You know, I talked about where I said domestic violence or child abuse or marriage or love or tourism, whatever it is, and you're going to begin to put together interviews or a curriculum that you're going to share where it's just you talking into a microphone. One guy that I know that has a podcast, he lost his father at 10 years old. It's called Dealing with My Grief. And he just gets on for about 10, 15 minutes and talks about how he has dealt with his grief that week. He just recently lost his mom. So for somebody that's grieving, he has people contacting him like crazy. We're trying to talk him into putting Dealing with My Grief on some t-shirts. So because we're thinking of monetizing, but he is just bent on, you know, being that provider for people to give them the information. Then you want to publish it, right? There are meta tags that you can put in, and that's a lot of detail. Like I said, I only had 30 minutes. Whether you publish it to Stitcher, iTunes, Google Play, wherever you want to place it. What you can do then is you can use a service called rev.com, R-E-V.com, to transcribe the audio, and therein you have your blog posts. There, Rev, R-E-V, R-E, like short for Reverend. I'm not sure that's not what it is, but rev.com. Okay, space that out because it's $1 a minute right now. It's $1 a minute. So, but when you have it transcribed, there you have your content. And you can even take that and publish it as a blog post. You can put it on Medium for LinkedIn. You can put it on Facebook. I've seen a lot of 2- and 3-page posts that y'all are reading on Facebook. I get lost at about line 5, but y'all must be reading it because they keep doing it. Organize those transcriptions into chapters. Ergo, you have your book. Your book turns into a speaking career. Speaking career turns into another income stream. Again. Position yourself as an expert. Oh, some of the ways that you can advertise, whether it's your book or your podcast, they call them sipping signs, and where you could get people. Remember the old Mary Kay parties or the Tupperware parties where somebody would be the host? They have jury parties now. Somebody would be the host and invite all of their friends, invite you over. You would sit and talk about the book. The people there buy, you sign, and you sip. It's an advertisement for the book, and you can do them wherever. Church, library, homes. Another thing is, we're all on social media, right? Follow someone that has your very same topic, okay? Somebody that's maybe 4 or 5 steps out ahead of you. Follow that person. Every time they speak, every time they post an interview, write down who interviewed them. That way, when you're done and you're ready to publish or market your podcast, you have a list of people you can pitch to go ahead and send them. If it's your podcast, you can go ahead and send them a file, like your first and your second episode. If it's your book, you can send them the text and the request. If you get a response, then you can send them an e-copy, and send them the e-copy from Amazon so that you get credit for the sale. And if they write a review, you get the little verified purchase tag, because the verified purchase tag ranks higher on Amazon.
So that's after you're published?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's part of your marketing plan.
Okay.
Next. A la carte your genius. I gave you the 3 examples in the beginning. One more. In this way, merch stands for merchandise, right? So you figure out whether or not you're a crafter, or if you just want to put funny slogans on t-shirts and sell those. You get a merch account at Amazon, upload it to Amazon, put together a marketing plan. And a marketing plan does not have to be elaborate. You get 10 of your friends and say, okay, on these 3 days, I need you guys to post, share, and like, so that you get a lot of energy around it once you create that buzz. And you have to keep the buzz, keep stoking the fire. And it may not traject, it may not go straight up. You may have some hills and valleys. But if you go into a valley, don't give up. Leave it there. Keep telling people about it. Keep talking about it. Like right now, I've had 18 reviews for, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 weeks. But I'm working on my next marketing plan, and I'm speaking now. So I know that in the coming weeks, it's going to continue. Merch accounts at lit price sale? Yes, next ma'am. Selling online courses. I showed you Danielle in the very beginning, right? There are different platforms you can teach. People want to learn how to do absolutely. You know how to sew? I had a friend in Baltimore that crochets hats. She sells those hats for $35. I got 2 of them. Okay? You know how to sew a button on a shirt. You can create a video and teach somebody how to do that. Okay? There's another chick I know in the DC area. She bakes cakes. She doesn't decorate them. Okay? We're not talking about cake boss and nothing fancy. She mixing batter and pouring it in the pan. There's another lady in I think she's in either Texas or Alabama. She sells candy apples for $5 a piece. Okay? She has videos online. She shows people how to mix it. She sells the mixer, the mix, the recipe. Okay, so you can buy the candy, and then she's starting to decorate them now. You can buy the candy apple, or you can buy and the mixer is $450. Now, how much do you think she's getting that mixer from the wholesaler, since she's such a good customer because she buys all her supplies from him? Relationship and leverage. Y'all can do this. Next. Oh, if you want some help, like I said, 30 minutes is not a whole lot of time to give you the information. I saw you guys writing furiously, but I do have the slides available. I do have the slides available for download. If you want the slides, I can give you the link for it, or on the evaluation form, you can write your email address on the bottom, and I will send them to you directly. If you want the slides, I also have a checklist for the podcast. If you want the checklist, I am also available to help you. I can put this into a course specifically for you all in Jacksonville if you tell me whether or not you want the book or the podcast, however you would like it. Generally, when I offer this, I sell it for $197 a person, and I only do it for 3 weeks. But because April opened up her platform to me and allowed me to come down here from DC to share because you all belong to her. None of you in here, we don't know each other personally. You haven't followed me for years online. You're here because of the marketing that April put into this program. This I will offer to you we'll do 5 weeks, not 3, and I'll do it for half price. It's just up to you as to whether or not you want to partake. I'm available for the questions. It'll be online. You'll be able to ask questions. It will be group, but I am not a Danielle or a Darius yet. I'm still available to answer individual questions, and where if you email me, I will email you back. Sitting on my full-time job, my fingers crossed, eating potato chips and donuts because I've been doing it 15 years. So, and that is for today, for the weekend. By the time I leave the city, the link will be down because I'll probably take it down Sunday right before I get on the plane.
And where's the link? Okay, that one?
Yes.
thatanitalive.com/Jax?
Yes, thatanitalive.com/Jax, Jax. I should have put it in a different color. That's me. I should have put it in a different color, but that is the link for the special for just $97. If you go to the link, it'll lead you to the page. You can go ahead and sign up right now, pay for it, and then we will get started the first week of April. Okay. This is the hat. That was supposed to be the last slide, but this is the hat that I was talking about. And you see $29 for one color, $35 for 2 colors. She crocheted this hat. It's not deep. and the gatekeepers are gone. Now, because of the internet, you have direct access to anybody that you want to sell to. Facebook ads, Twitter ads, it's all very, very possible. What are some of the businesses that you guys are thinking about starting?
I have one.
What's the business that you're thinking about starting?
Eyelashes. New eyelashes.
Have you already started?
Yeah.
Did you hear about the young lady over the Black Friday holiday that hit $1 million in 4 days?
For eyelashes?
Makeup.
Makeup.
She just did it again. $1 million in gross sales. Do you what about you?
I teach yoga for people with injuries.
You got websites?
No, not yet.
Come on, Blake. Come on, Blake. No, you need a home site. So when somebody taps your name in, there is a home site that comes up with at least a homepage and about us and a description of your services. And then pictures or video of you actually doing what you say you can do.
And if you want to know how to do that effectively for converting the leads, come to my breakout.
Which is at what time?
It is at 2:45. It's the marketing as an active service.
Oh, yeah.
I talk about all the essential elements for promoting.
See, even that's even more detail. So you can pick up what I gave you, go into her session, and pick up how to, like a specific marketing plan for your service. What are you starting?
Well, I am a licensed clinical social worker, so
Okay.
a solo private practice, working with just women on building healthy relationships with themselves and others. I'm at 245 also.
Yes.
There's so many of us. Yeah, so I started about a year ago solo. Before that, I was in like a group practice kind of setting.
Have you written a book yet?
No.
What are you waiting for?
I know, it keeps circling, yeah. Be interesting.
Write that book and put LCSW on Amazon. That's instant credibility. I didn't believe it, right? But then once I have 2 master's degrees. Once I added MED for Masters of Education and MBA to my profile, people started treating me like I was a different person.
Such an expert, right?
What are you thinking about starting?
I'm not sure yet. Sitting on the fence.
Just jump into something and then you'll find your way. Seriously, just jump into something and you will find your way. I know it sounds crazy, but it works. Because Michelle that I just left, she was doing coaching for love and relationships, helping people with their, y'all have these things called spouses and boyfriends and girlfriends. And when I go home, I just want peace and quiet. For some reason, they all seem to love TV. I can't do it. But you all do it very well.
So I've had a business for over 15 years.
Okay.
Focused on developing leaders and building cohesive teams.
Ah.
And I work a lot with women, and I'm looking for ways, maybe how do I want to take that a little bit in a either bigger or newer direction and write a book.
Have you ever heard of a woman called Wendy Dibner?
Not sure though. Maybe.
Google her, Dibner. What you got coming?
Well, I started a fitness and nutrition company a couple years ago.
Okay.
I was active duty military for almost 15 years, and it actually came by accident. But this was really good because I'm trying to figure out a way to get my story out, and because my whole life was struggle, and everybody just is like thinks that I just woke up and
Yes.
There's a big long story behind this, and I don't want to be just looked at as, oh, she's just a personal trainer. I'm like, no, I can actually help people with a lot more things. It's just I don't know, and I have a master's degree, I have a bachelor's degree, like I'm not just a personal trainer. Like I really like to help people.
So pick one. Whether you do the book
I didn't know how
or
to
the
start.
podcast.
I didn't know how to do that. I mean, I've tried the podcasting, and I actually am working on a book, but I didn't know how to kind of scale the story, just because I don't want to scare people away. But I mean, there's a hard story there.
Just put it out there.
Yeah.
Just because, sis, think about the horror movies these people watch today.
Yeah, true.
Okay, so it doesn't matter how, the more personal and authentic you make the story, the more the engagement and the attraction to you is going to be. I mean, we watch reality stars because we're laughing at them, not with them. But then when it comes to Dr. Phil or Oprah, there's that head-to-heart connection, and that's what you will form with that book.
Me? So I'm thinking about organizational coaching, so something similar. I've been in HR for 20 some odd years, so
Okay.
executive coaching, organizational coaching, so more of a B2B.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking. So I'm trying to reconcile how much of the personal baggage story with the, appeal to organizations.
I think yours is not necessarily more so the deep dive in the personal, but the deep dive in being the solution. So putting the problem out there, false names, and then telling us how you solve that problem. Because then when the trainer comes to you or the person at the corporation that needs the book starts looking for a speaker, they're looking for people to solve an issue that they have.
Perfect. Thank you.
What you got?
I don't know whether to talk about personal or business. It's just, I own two businesses. Mine is a cleaning company and a travel company.
Okay.
My background is I'm a cancer, hopefully as redemption.
Mm-hmm.
So divorce, cancer, menopause, you name it.
Fine.
I've
Okay.
been through it in the last 3 years. So I want to help people, cancer patients especially. It's like, the first book I read was 7, the radical remission. How do you get into remission?
Okay.
How do you get rid of all the toxicity in your life? And they gave me 20% chance of survival.
Ooh. I have one more to give away. Who'd like it?
Yeah.
So I'm out of time, but I don't really see anybody out there yet. Like high school changing classes, I don't really see anybody yet.
I have a quick question
Sure.
about publishing. So self-publishing versus getting a publisher.
Okay.
What
It's
do you recommend?
okay. This is the guy that I work with asked me this question.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want? Do you want to make money? Or do you want to be a New York Times bestseller? Do you want to be famous? Because with the traditional publisher, okay, they have control of your title. They have control of your story. They're not going to put as much marketing into it unless you have at least 50,000 on social media.
Wow.
Right? Because they've got so many options to choose from.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you know somebody that sits in a traditional publisher already,
Yeah. So self-publishing.
it's very hard to get in. With self-publishing, you have control over all of that. And the thing about traditional, if they give you an upfront payment and you do not sell, you owe.
You owe that.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
So, to self-publish, how much money would you recommend kind of setting aside to do that?
Depends on the length that you want your book to be.
Okay.
But I can give you an idea from the standpoint of the interior formatter was like $100, okay? The person that did the picture on the front for me, Natalia, that was $100. Then the guy that actually took the picture, I gave him the picture and he did the design as far as the font and the text. That was, I think, like $89. The editing was where I spent most of my funds. And an editor, a good rule of thumb is you get what you pay for. There are a lot of people out there claiming to be an expert. I recommend my editor highly, Inkwell. Her name is Erica. If you don't remember it, just DM me or send me an email. Then there are different types of editing because you have the developmental editing, you have the line editing, you have copy editing. So it starts out with the big picture and the story. How do all of the pieces of your book fit together? Do all of your chapters deliver on the title that you've chosen, right? That's developmental. Then it goes down into line and where they're looking at subject-verb agreement and should it be an A or IE or, Then it goes even further down from that. People will charge anywhere from, my book was I want to say when I first started, my book was 40,000 words. Some of them charge by the word. Some of them charge by the time they feel it's going to take them. I like the word because I feel like that gives me more control. I want to say that was around 900, 950. And that was for 3 passes, right? So I gave her garbage, right? She read it, put a whole lot of questions into it. That was developmental. She read it, put a whole lot of questions into it, and sent it back. Then I went through it, answered the questions, rearranged sections, the whole editing thing, and then said, okay, I'm ready to try again. I sent it back to her. She went through it line by line, right? And gave it back with more questions. Maybe you can further explain this section. Maybe this belongs in a different chapter. You left a cliffhanger here. Was that by, on purpose? Like, we need to know how this ends. What happens when you get to the end of the street type deal. That was 3 passes. So yeah. Then put it up on, of course, put it up on Amazon. All of that is very easy. You can do that yourself. Do not pay somebody to put it up on Amazon. Really, if you can fill out a form, that's all it is. If you can fill out a form, you can put your own book on Amazon. Any other question?
Podcast, how do you go about, I don't even know where to start with all the information I can share with people to inspire
The podcast?
cancer,
From the standpoint of tell your story. Start with the day you found out. Okay, what happened from there? The day you found out, who became your support system? What was the best doctor you had? What was the worst doctor you've had? Somebody was in your shoes right now at this very moment. What would you say to them? That's four different podcasts right there, because they can be anywhere from 10, 15 minutes to an hour. The best thing about whatever it is you choose is consistency. You start a podcast.
how frequent should be your
It could be a week. It could be every 2 weeks. It could be once. It all depends. It has to fit your lifestyle. Don't force it, because if you force it, that's going to come across to your listener. Especially the people that you're attempting to attract, because we are high energy people. Somebody can walk past us on the street and we're like, why are you in such a bad mood? And they haven't said a word. We feel it. So consistency and authenticity.
Should we market or advertise the podcast, or just put it out
Yeah.
there on and
Do the
that
same.
through social?
Do the same. Yeah. Here's something that you could do, right? First of all, when you do your podcast, do at least 3 episodes, so that when you launch it, see the marketing expert right in the marketing expert in the back is saying yes. Do at least 3. It was at least 3 episodes so that when you publish it, people have more than just a bite. Your first episode can be 10 to 15 minutes of an intro of what you're going to be talking about in your new podcast. Okay. Then you want to get as many people as you can to sign up. Everybody that you've ever done a favor for. Hey, listen, you have a social media account and I need it for the next 5 days. Okay? And you're going to the intro, share that out on social media. Then you can take like the most probing or interesting minute. Okay? Because I think the Instagram limit is a minute. All right?
Okay.
And put that out.
59 seconds.
Yep.
59 seconds, there you go.
Huh?
So what was the deal with white versus cream on the
Good
pages?
Uh,
Which one is fiction and which one is nonfiction?
Girl, see? Why she ain't testing me?
I think it's cream. I'll Google it.
No, white is nonfiction. Yeah, cream is, people are looking for a novel. They're thinking that it's going to be like a romance story, or when they look at white, they think real, they think authenticity, they think this is attached to an actual person. I didn't either. Yeah, I didn't. It was all a process of me writing my own book. you. So back a slide.